What's going on, Lexus? Yesterday, we had a recall on certain 2022 Lexus NX450h Plus, the plug-in hybrid, and today we got report that the Lexus RX, RX hybrid, and the 2024 model year NX, NX hybrid is being recalled in the United States. And in this video, I will review a bit more on the NX450h Plus recall that I released yesterday and see what the RX, RX hybrid, and the NX, NX hybrid recall is all about. Before we start on today's video, I would like to introduce our Instagram account at LSFTvideos. You can see some updates on my experience with the NX450h Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can also reach me via direct messaging on Instagram if you have any questions on your NX. And if you like this video, you can provide comments, like this video, and share this video with your friends, and subscribe to my channel, and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support me further and support this channel, you can also provide a super thanks, which is greatly appreciated. And now, let's get to the video. So yesterday I provided some details on the 2022 Lexus NX450h Plus recall and some information on how to reduce the likelihood of a vehicle fire. And here we have the official press release on the recall from Toyota USA. So let's see what else is there that I've missed in the previous video. So you can see here, they're saying that Toyota is conducting a safety recall in the United States for certain 2021 and 2022 RAV4 Prime and certain 2022 model year Lexus NX 450h Plus vehicles. And they're saying it's approximately 43,000 vehicles. So yesterday I said it was 49,000, so good thing is it's less. And definitely I think it is less because one thing that I've learned is that not all 2022 NX 450h Pluses are impacted. So somehow up to a certain point, it has stopped. So from 49 to 43, so about 6,000 roughly vehicles are not impacted with this recall. So they're saying that a component that converts electricity voltage could be damaged in manufacturing and experience a short circuit, generating excessive heat. Under certain conditions, the short circuit can generate enough heat to increase the risk of a vehicle fire. So this is the same description that was provided. And here they're actually giving us a little bit more information, which is actually, I'm pleased that it's saying September 2023. So they're saying that Toyota and Lexus dealers will replace the DC to DC converter with an improved part at no cost to the customer. Toyota will notify affected owners about this issue by early September 2023. So remember what I said was, don't recharge the vehicle when it's about 5 degrees Celsius or 41 Fahrenheit. When it's below that, you have a higher risk of this vehicle fire. And if they're going to be doing this early September and getting it done by October, I don't think we have an issue here. And the risk is extremely low. I know there people will be still a little paranoid and a little bit concerned, but it is what it is. But it seems like they are taking this seriously. So then they're just talking about the standard information. They're saying that they're filing the thing and then the VIN number and all that, and how do you check the information. So that's all there is with this in the Toyota land. So I'm going to move over to Canada and look at Canada's press release to see if there's any difference. Alright, so now we switched over to Canada. So you can see here it says Toyota is conducting a safety recall, same thing, 2021, 2022 RAV4 Primes and certain 2022 models, and now they're saying it's about 5,981 vehicles that are involved in Canada. So great to know, right? But if you look at it, we got about 300-ish were NXs, so 5,000, let's say 5,600 are mostly RAV4 Primes. So then explain the same thing. It just says that short circuit And they're saying that the Toyota and Lexus dealers will replace the DC-DC converter with an improved part at no cost to customers. And the same thing, they will notify the owners early September. So it looks like the rest of the press release is exactly the same. The only thing they really changed was Canada and the number. Everything seems to be extremely similar to the US press release. So now let's fly over to Australia and see what Australia has to say. So Lexus Australia, they actually have a recall, and this one is purely just for the NX. So they're saying that they're initiating a safety recall for the NX plug-in hybrid, and they're saying that 154 customers are impacted in the Australian market. So not a lot, just a handful. But keep in mind right now, Australia's actually winter for them. It's actually getting cold. So this is actually extremely more important for Australia at this time, because definitely it will impact charging in the Australian market. So when you look at here, what it's saying is it's also saying that it includes the DC-DC that reduces the voltage, so it explains that, and they're saying that it's contained within the DC-DC converter and currently rectifying the module that is installed on the circuit board. Some of these modules may be damaged during production and could short circuit. So they're saying that this will allow the current from the 12-volt battery to continue to flow through the module, and the module will generate heat. Under certain conditions, if excessive heat is generated, components within and outside the DC-DC converter could sustain thermal damage, increasing the risk of a vehicle fire. So they're saying that they will replace the DC-DC converter free of charge to the vehicle owners. And they're explaining a little bit more information here. So they're saying that it will take about 75 minutes to replace the DC-DC converter. And again, the standard message saying that it also depends on the dealer's work schedule. Owners may be required to make the vehicle available for a longer period of time. So it's an hour and a bit. So if you're expecting this is probably a whole day's worth of work, because waiting and all that, they probably will have to give you like a loaner car for the day. So when you look at that, the Australian is actually a little bit different. They're actually instructing the customers to do not use the AC plug-in charger until the Lexus dealer has replaced the DC-DC converter. However, they may continue to drive their vehicle. So Australia has a different message for them. For Canada, US, this is not there's no instructions of not charging your vehicle. So you can see the difference between cold weather versus right now we're in summer time. It's a little bit different in the messaging. So they have some Q&As here, so let's see what it says. So they're saying that 154 Lexus NX450h plus plug-in hybrid vehicles are involved in the Australian market, but this is actually the range here. So you can see here, it's the VIN range from 170 really to 6,634. And its production range is from November 15th, 2021 to May 27th, 2022. So if you're outside of the May 27th, you probably did not get impacted with this recall. So this is way more information that we've seen in the Canadian and the US market. So kudos to the Australian market here, providing very clear information. So let's see what this says. I think this explains the same thing, right? It's saying that, so this is explained up there, so I'm not going to talk much about it. So they're saying, what does the remedy involve? So they're actually going to replace the whole converter. And how long it's going to take? 75 minutes. So can I continue to drive my vehicle? Yes. Owners may continue to drive their vehicles. However, we request owners to contact their local preferred Lexus dealer to arrange recall completion. So they didn't say it's September. They actually just telling the Australian people to go and call their dealer and arrange recall completion. And they're saying that if you have additional questions, go ahead and contact your local Lexus dealer. So it seems like messaging is different as well. So then they have more questions here. Can I continue to charge my vehicle via the plug-in charger? And the answer for the Australian is no. Owners are requested to cease using the AC adapter charger immediately. We request owners to contact their local preferred and arrange the recall. So it seems more serious for Australia. And I think that is because it's cold. And that is why it needs to be immediately handled. So if you don't get this recall done, I will highly suggest you not plugging it in when it gets cold. It seems to be a different messaging here. And then they started saying, how do I continue to drive my vehicle if I cannot use the AC plug charger? So they're saying that you can drive it without using the plug and using premium unleaded fuel only. So you just drive it as a hybrid. So hopefully they will have this for the Australian market, a quick fix. It's only 154. So there's not that many owners impacted comparing to the US market or even the Canadian market, right? So they're saying that, does this condition affect other Lexus models? So only the models listed in the VIN range in the table question 1 are involved in the Australian market. So one thing that I've actually got was, does this impact the RX? From what I'm seeing, I haven't seen any RXs, but you can also know that US and Canada does not get the RX 450h Plus yet, or I don't know if we're ever going to get it, but I'm still waiting to see Lexus Europe to see if there's any recalls on this, because they're all made in Japan. So I'm thinking that it should be impacted, but I have not seen any news from Lexus Europe yet. So I don't know if the RX plug-in hybrid will be involved as well. Don't know. So then they're saying that my vehicle is in the effective production range. What should I do? Again, contact your dealer and arrange to get it fixed. So will my Lexus be fixed straight away once I contact the dealer? So they're prioritizing the supply of the necessary parts. So they're saying that booking the time and getting the remedy done as early as possible. So please pick up your phone, call your dealer, get it arranged, and so that once they have the parts in, they'll get it changed. So where do I find my VIN? Okay, we all know where to get it. So that's all. There's 11 questions, and I think this is extremely helpful. And I would say a lot of this also applies to anywhere in the world if you own a 450h Plus. Other than it says don't charge it, we have not got that message from anywhere from US and Canada Lexus. So that's where we have it. So this is Australia. And now let's move on to the next recall. All right, so now we're moving over to another recall, and now this one impacts from a Lexus standpoint, the RX and the 2024 NX, and also some other Toyota products like the Corolla, Corolla Cross, and the Highlander and the Tacoma. So it's a bigger range here. Let's scroll down and see what it says here. So Toyota is conducting a non-compliant safety recall in the United States involving certain 2023 model year Toyota Corolla, Corolla Cross, Corolla Cross Hybrid, the Highlander, Highlander Hybrid, the Tacoma, and also the Lexus RX. We don't know what year the RX, and the RX Hybrid. I'm assuming it's the 2023. And they're saying that the 2024 model year NX and NX Hybrid vehicles are impacted as well. And it's approximately 110,000 vehicles in the United States that are involved with this recall. So there's a significant amount here. So what is the impact? So they're saying that the affected vehicles with the spiral cable assembly in the steering column may lose its electrical connection on the circuit controlling the driver's airbag. And if this occurs, the airbag warning light will light up, and the driver's airbag will not deploy in a crash. So this is critical, really critical, right? As a result, the vehicle will not comply with certain federal motor vehicle safety requirements and may increase the risk of injury to the driver in event of a crash. So for all the vehicles involved, Toyota and Lexus dealers will inspect the serial number of the spiral cable and, if necessary, replace it with a new cable at no cost. So meaning they may not be replacing the cable, they'll be looking at the serial number and making sure that it's not impacted and then replace it if it is impacted. So I think the most important thing you see is if you own one of these vehicles and if the light turns on, drive at your own risk. Drive like a grandpa or a grandma, because one thing you don't want to do is be in a crash. or just don't drive it at all. So what they're saying here is Toyota will notify affected owners about the issue by early September 2023. So it seems like very similar to the other recall. So this is all standard documentation. So that's all there is about this recall. And I'm going to move over to Canada so that we can actually see how many are impacted in Canada as well. All right, so now I move over to Toyota Canada's newsroom. And one thing I've noticed, there is no RX and NX here. I really don't know why, but let's have a look. So they're saying that Toyota is conducting a safety recall on certain 2023 model years Toyota Corolla, Corolla Cross, Highlander, Highlander Hybrid, and the Tacoma vehicles in Canada. And that's about 4,252 vehicles. So where is the NX? Where is the RX? So you can see that the symptom is the same. It says affected vehicles, the spiral cables, it will lose electrical connection, and the circuit controller, the airbag. So everything is exactly the same. But then it says Toyota and Lexus dealers will inspect the serial number. But there's no Lexus here. So I don't know. Did they forget it, or Lexus is actually not involved? So either they should be removing this or they should be adding the RX and NX here. I don't see it here. So I don't know what this is, but at this point, it doesn't show NX and RX as being recalled in Canada, but based on the US, it seems like it should be. So I don't know, maybe their supplies are different, and when they assemble it for Canada, it's a different supply. I really don't know. But overall, if you see it, something probably to be aware of, and see if you are actually impacted or not, because it's weird that the US is recalled, but not Canada. So there we have it. Toyota and Lexus have been recalling a lot of vehicles in the past few days. So in Canada, it's about almost 10,000 vehicles. And in the United States, we're talking about almost 160,000 units. So they're going to be very busy in replacing these parts. And hopefully this gives you more information that gives you some comfort. And I know that vehicle fire is scary, and hopefully September comes quickly and that the parts are here and it's time to go and get that replaced. So everybody gets a comfort when they plug in that charger into the vehicle, that it's charging and it will not blow up. So there we have it. If I get more information, definitely will be providing another video on it, and hopefully I'll learn more of Lexus Europe, because they seem to be very quiet at this point. And hopefully the folks in UK, France, and all of you in Europe will be getting more information on this type of recall. Until next time, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.